Hello, I'm Dr. Finley Catrone, Associate Professor in the William F. Harrah College of Hospitality at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Are you thinking about a career in hospitality and tourism leadership? We've created a series of introductory video lectures to help you explore career opportunities. If you're watching this video, you probably already know that global travel and tourism amounted to $11.1 trillion in 2024. The industry is expected to support approximately 348 million jobs globally this year. In the hospitality industry, we create great experiences for people, whether in hotels, restaurants, event planning, integrated resorts, or other tourism-related entities. When we think about careers in hospitality, though, most of us think of customer service roles in hotels and restaurants, which is true. But career opportunities are so much broader than that. What are you interested in? What is your ideal profession? Because we have careers in that. Hospitality is a business, of course, but it is also an art and a science. From hotel management and food and beverage leadership to meetings and events management and luxury experiences, hospitality is a dynamic field with opportunities worldwide, offering an endless list of managerial and leadership roles. Do you hope to become a director of finance or revenue, or maybe director of marketing, or a vice president of hotel operations? Maybe you're interested in casino operations or golf. Hospitality careers are varied and exciting. If you enjoy working with people, problem solving, and a fast-paced environment, hospitality could be the perfect career path for you. And there is no better place to study than the entertainment and tourism capital of the world. We have undergraduate and graduate programs both on campus and online. The Harrah College of Hospitality, the #1 hospitality program in the U.S. and top 3 in the world, is the ideal stepping stone to building your career.
Greetings. It is my great pleasure and honor to introduce you to one of the most vibrant and exciting creative sector of hospitality, the MICE industry, also known as events and meetings industry. So before I share some exciting things about MICE industry, I want to introduce myself to you. My name is Eunmin Hwang. I'm a faculty member at Department of Food and Beverage and Event Management at William F. Harrah College of Hospitality at University of Nevada, Las Vegas. So let me ask you this. What is your passion? What makes you get up in the morning and what makes you smile throughout the day? Do you get excited or feel great when you make others feel happy? When you try to gather people and throw some kind of an event? And if it starts raining outside and you were planning on doing an outdoor event, but you still try to think, how am I going to make my participants even more happier? Then if you have this kind of a mindset, then you can consider yourself as a potential event leader. So I want to share some of the characteristics of the successful event leaders. Event leaders are warm, energetic, diplomatic. They often talk and converse with the clients to discuss about the event details, and they also becomes the main focal point person to talk about the vendors and the venues. And also event planners are organized and patient because the clients often make their changes to the event or they want something more and making sure that the event is very exciting and very memorable. And event leaders are often as charming and well-groomed, and they also have a high flexibility. If anything changes, they can improvise and make things right. And event leaders are multitaskers. They really are curious about a lot of things, and they're sensitive to the client's request. And most importantly, successful event leaders pay attention to the details. So they're detail-oriented people. So now that I shared about the characteristics of event leaders, I'm going to share a little bit about the role of event leaders. So event leaders are the people who take care of all the meetings and events that you can think of. And some of the things that they really pay attention to is the event logistics, production of the event, and the catering needs. And if there's something goes wrong, then risk mitigation teams comes in, and also the sales and marketing. You also have to think about the budgeting issue about the events, whether there's going to be the return on investment investment, and also the member communications, because you have to make sure that you are making the participants satisfied and happy. And we also care about the environment. That's why we also think about what are the sustainable activities that we can incorporate when we design our events, and everything else that you can think of to make sure the event and the meetings will flow really well. So when I say meetings and events, it is not really comprehensively looking at all the other event types. So M.I.C.E, I want to introduce to you. M.I.C.E stands for M for meetings, I for incentives, C for the conferences and conventions, and E for exhibitions. Some of you may think, okay, what are they? So I'm going to try to explain that to you using some of the pictures. So if you take a look at the first top left, that is considered to be the incentives. It's like an incentive travel that you try to give it to your loyal customers or your loyal employees. Make sure that you're empowering them. Either the well-being tourisms, where you go for excursions or cruise, that would be considered as incentive travel. And conferences, oftentimes the people that have a similar interest or focus area, like the medical or the educational or the hospitality, we get together and we discuss about the future things about the industry. And the exhibition is some of the things that's happening in Las Vegas right now is the Titanic exhibitions and also the body exhibitions. And talking about convention, you know, the typical example of the conventions, that would be considered as a Comic-Con. So I also want to tell you some of the types of events, because when I say meetings and events or MICE industry, people often think, okay, you do a party planning or you do a wedding planning. Of course, that is type of events that we really, really passionately work for. But there are other things. So as I shared, MICE and also the weddings and the ceremonies and thinking about the parties, but we also address the celebrity events and also the music concerts. There is a lot of mega events that is happening nationwide and the global wide. And we actually have some more types. There is a trade show, there's arts and cultural events. So when you think about the culture, the world is getting smaller and smaller. So people really appreciate your ethnicity and your cultural background, and people want to learn from each other. And also the sporting events, and also the corporate events. So when you think about the corporate events, it is handling the corporate businesses. What they do is they appreciate their employees and make sure that they are empowering their employees. They want to throw a New Year's Eve or a empowering events. So that would be considered as a corporate events. And charitable events. I'm sure that some of you think about what I can contribute back to the society, thinking about philanthropy. So the charitable events would include fundraisings to help the others who does not have the need, and also thinking about the festivals and the fairs and the shows, and also the virtual events. So during the COVID, meetings and events and MICE industry had a big hit because we had to do a social distancing. But at the same time, people just could not stay away from each other. So using the virtual platforms like the Zoom or the Skype, people wanted to still create the virtual events. So let me tell you a little bit about the virtual events in the later slides. So I want to share some of the economic impact of the MICE industry. So according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the number of jobs for meeting, conventions, and event planners in 2023 was 149,000 positions. That is very impressive, right? I hope it is impressive to you. And also, they projected that the employment for the positions will grow about 7% from 2023 to 2033, which is faster than the average growth rate for, guess what, all occupations. And I also want to share some of the size of the Asia events industry. So according to the Allied Market Research, they talked about the Asia event industry size was valued at approximately $274 billion in 2018. The reason I utilize this number is before the COVID, it was blooming, and it is also estimated to reach double that amount to about $568 billion by 2026. And if I look at the picture that I share with you on this slide, you can see by countries. These are some of the major key players, and of course, China, because of the size of the continent, it is a major player, but you can also look at the Singapore, Japan, Indonesia, South Korea are also the leading country in Asia events industry. And as I shared, I want to tell you a little bit about how amazing the virtual events market size is for Asian Pacific countries. It was valued at $20 billion in 2023 in US dollars, and that is accounting more than a quarter of the revenue share of the global virtual events market. So that is very impressive. And if you look at the graph, it shows it is going to continuously grow because of its convenience and accessibility, and it's a lot easier to set up and then execute everything. So I want to share some of the career opportunities in MICE industry. Similar to the other industries, we also have the entry-level roles, and we go to the ladder, the career ladder, and then go for the senior supervising positions. And of course, this would take time. You would have to start your position as an entry-level, as a meeting planner assistant or even assistant, and with the proper learning and training and practicing, you get to go up the ladder and then become successful. And then you may actually look at and become a vice president of events and meetings, and also becoming a COO, Chief Operations Officers, or CEO, which is the Chief Event Officer. And I wanted to share this figure with you that was published back in 2017. It talks about the career path in the MICE industry. So this is an interesting figure, and I'll tell you why. So according to Hwang and Luo, they were saying that the MICE industry positions, they start as assistant, they go to project managers. They're saying that compared to other industry path, the MICE industry career path is smaller and shorter, which means you can actually arrive to the top much quicker than the other disciplines. And also, very interestingly, they talk about MICE industry careers. They do not only care about the money that they earn. They care about their values. They care about their needs. And they also think about sense of belonging. They want to matter. It's not only a career, but they really embrace it. They live with it. And they also really appreciate that there is a self-challenging component. And also, you get to practice your personal skill sets. So it kind of shows how amazing and dynamic the career path in the MICE industry, depending on how much passion and devotion that you have. So now I'm going to share how much do they pay. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the median annual wage for meeting, convention, and event planners in 2023 was turned out to be about $57,000 per year. And more importantly, the average salary for a coordinator or specialist in North America in 2024 was turned out to be $64,268. And hear this, with the highest salary reaching about $290,000 annually based on the Convened Salary Survey that was done 2024 by PCMA, also known as Professional Convention Management Association. The interesting fact is there's an upward trend in wages. So this is not the end, this is just the beginning. You'll see the increase in the salary. I also want to share this one with you from the Convened Salary Survey from PCMA, because it kind of shows, as I shared with you, the coordinator and the specialist gets paid about $64,000 a year in North America. But then if you try to look at the executive level and the vice president, it goes up to about $120,000, which is almost doubling that amount. So the average salary by the organization type, if you can take a look, the nonprofit is about $105,000, and then with the association about $102,000, and also the corporations and the independent meeting planners. If you have the aim of increasing your skill sets and trying to do better and put your time and effort in and practicing those skill sets, you can literally earn your salary, and then the salary can be increased. So now I'm sure that you're all thinking about, okay, I understand that it's a very, very well-paying job and career path, but what are the working conditions? Because nowadays people really care a lot about the work-life balance, right? And here's the catch. So average number of hours worked per week was about 46 hours, and with 50% of the working between 41 to 50 hours. And some of you may say, oh my God, it is more than 40 hours per week. Isn't that pretty brutal? No, if you think about other disciplines, and if you're working for the supervising roles, when you have other employees that you have to manage and coordinate, 40 hours a week is not the right number of hours that you work per week. So based on that, I also want to say, About 86% of the survey respondents work for an employer with a flexible work policy. So what do I mean by flexible work policy? So about 30% of them, they get to decide, and they have the flexibility. If they want to work at home, they can. If they want to work at the office, they could. And also about 37% had the fixed of they have to show up in the office between 2 to 3 days, but then the rest, they can work from home. How exciting is that? And another cherry on top of your nice working condition, I want to say the days taken, and this is a paid days off. About 80% of the people had between 11 days to more than 20 days of the paid days off. I hope that was very impressive for you in thinking about, okay, M.I.C.E industry actually has a career ladder. If I work hard, I can become the CEO or the CXO, although I start as an entry-level position. And it's going to give me a great working condition and also a very decent time off. But how do you move up the ladder quickly? Is there any strategic ways to climb the career ladder faster and at a successful rate? And I'm going to share this sentence with you. I hope it will stick to you. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, a typical entry-level education for meeting, convention, and event planners is a bachelor's degree. 84.3% of employers require prior work experience. So anything rings any bells? A typical entry-level education is a bachelor's degree. And more than 80% of the employers actually appreciate if you have a prior work experience. I want to share some of the key elements for your career success. This is the strategic way to succeed and have a very, very strong career in M.I.C.E industry. So the first element is the education. About 60% of the meetings and conventions and event planners are required to have a bachelor's degree. This is showcasing how important to select the high quality, very suitable and fitting educational program that would nurture you, that will teach you some of the transferable skills. And the examples include creative thinking. So when you try to put up meetings and events, you have to have the critical thinking skills. And thinking about communication, I'm not only talking about the verbal communication, but also the written communications and your gestures and your facial expressions, all of that. And what about the negotiation skills? I told you, you have to be a great communicator. You'll be dealing with a lot of clients, a lot of the vendors and the venues. You have to make it work and make everybody happy. And the problem-solving skills and paying attention to the details. Right? And you also have to manage your time very nicely, and you have to understand the run of show, what's going to happen on the day of the event, and what are you going to do before the event happens, and then what's the post-event recovery methods. And you also have to learn the organization skill sets. So I say it is very critical for you to select the high-quality educational programs because there is a lot of the international programs and also the nationwide hospitality programs that specialize in educating the students who are interested in M.I.C.E industry. I can confidently say that UNLV is the perfect place to start your journey as a future event leader. UNLV provides a top-ranked hospitality program, and its location in Las Vegas, one of the world's premier destinations for the M.I.C.E industry, offering an ideal environment for students to learn, observe, and engage with the industry firsthand. As an international student, I am proud to share that I chose UNLV twice to pursue my bachelor's degree and PhD. I came to the U.S. more than a decade ago as an international student, driven by a big dream in hospitality. My experience and journey in higher education have brought me this far, and I consider it the best choice and the best investment of my life. I'm very proud to say that hospitality is a degree that travels globally, and things change always. The William F. Harrah College of Hospitality, with its Department of Food and Beverage and Event Management, is dedicated to supporting students who are serious about building careers in the M.I.C.E industry. Our faculty members are committed to nurturing students through practical learning opportunities, including having guest speakers, organizing site visits, and workshops. Also, we focus on helping students build professional networking by connecting them with industry associations and guide them possibly obtaining industry-recognized certifications. Many of our students work part-time or full-time in the industry, gaining valuable experience and fostering strong connections with their peers and their industry partners. UNLV is the perfect place to learn, practice, and refine the skills necessary for success in the hospitality and event management fields. And then the second key element for you to succeed in your career path is the experience. So now you're going to get some experience from your faculty, from your classmates, and from your alumni from the College of Hospitality, but at the same time, Las Vegas, the top tourism destination and the living hub for you to explore, will make you have a strong relationship with the MICE industry professionals, and also the valuable networking and the internship opportunities, including the MIT manager and training opportunities, both national and the global companies. There were 22,000 meetings and conventions held in Las Vegas in 2016. This shows how strong and powerful Las Vegas is in destination to host the MICE industry. I'm going to share some of the exciting things about Las Vegas, the destination itself. So Las Vegas was considered to be the top destination, followed by New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Toronto, as a perfect location to have the meetings and events, because we have everything in Las Vegas. And now that I shared with you some of the characteristics about event leaders, how much we pay, what are the career path, I'm going to ask you a question. What is a must element to ensure a successful event? Making sure that you're going to make your event very, very memorable and pleasant. Of course, understanding your target audience matters a lot, but if I have to pick one element, and I'm going to share that with you, it is actually a location, and location, especially if the location is preferred by your potential clients and potential participants, and they get to party and they get to have a memorable experience. And on top of it, if the location have the infrastructure to provide you with the unique venues, and also if you try to look at on the right, the sphere that we have in Las Vegas, if it gives you a venue that is very unique in terms of immersive, experiential, and also the interactive, that would make the event very successful. As I shared, Las Vegas has it all. It's a one-stop shop. It's a well-balanced destination. And our international airport, the Harrah Reid, is one of the top 10 busiest airports in the world. And the convenience in terms of making our participants to fly in and fly out matters a lot. It is not only hosting the U.S. domestic travel cities, but it also has direct flights to multiple international cities. And we also have numerous accommodation options. We have more than 150,000 rooms, and the best part is it is expanding. We are getting rid of the old ones and then also building the new ones to accommodate anybody's budget. And then last and most importantly, meeting spaces. We have quality and versatile meeting spaces, and I want to impress you by sharing the Mandalay Bay Convention Center, the 5th largest convention center in the U.S., with 1.2 million square feet of exhibit and meeting space, which is perfect for large corporate events and also having smaller multiple events, so everything can happen at the same time. And I also want to share with you that Las Vegas is a world-known convention and trade show destination. According to the 2022 economic report from the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, LVCVA, the total economic output related to the visitors' spending reached about $80 billion US dollars, and about 10%, which is $7.5 billion, are coming straight from convention visitors' spending. It kind of shows how strong Las Vegas is as a convention destination. And I also want to share that Las Vegas has been named the #1 trade show destination in North America for 26 consecutive years, with over 15 million square feet of meeting and event spaces. And as I shared, we're not just standing, it is expanding. This is why we have some of these world-class trade shows that is annually happening in Las Vegas. The first one is the Consumer Electronics Show, CES, and also the IMAX, also a very popular show for the meetings and event industry. So MGM Resort International provides so many options for the event planners and the host to choose from, with nearly 24 of properties that is in the center of the strip. So if you try to take a look at this picture, it shows you how many meeting spaces and square feet of spaces for you to have the event. Let's take a look at this map. Luxor provides 35,000 square feet of flexible meeting spaces. MGM Grand provides over 850,000 meeting spaces. And also the Park MGM provides 77,000 square feet of indoor and outdoor space. And also the Aria provides 500,000 square feet of fully equipped facilities. This kind of shows how much of an event can happen, and the MGM Resort International can provide you the meeting space and the meeting rooms that would make your event successful. And I'm also very excited to share with you that Las Vegas is becoming the sports capital of the world. The Formula One Las Vegas Grand Prix is providing the $1.2 billion in economic impact. So the photo that I share with you on this slide is when I went for a site visit with our students to check on the SEMA show. As I shared with you, William F. Harrah College of Hospitality, we often organize site visits. This was organized by the Freeman Group, and our undergraduate and graduate students went together, and then we were able to check out some of the NASCAR cars, and we had a lot of fun. I want to share why we have such a big potential and we are becoming the sports capital of the world. Because we have the infrastructure, we have the meeting spaces, we have the capacity of organized event. So there are 3 big venues that I want to introduce to you. The first one is Allegiant Stadium, which is the homes to the Raiders and the Super Bowl host that has the 65,000 seatings. And we also have T-Mobile Arena, home to the NHL's Golden Knights, that could have the capacity of 20,000 people seating to watch the hockey games. So it kind of shows how exciting Las Vegas could be in terms of becoming the host for the sports tourism destination. And more exciting news, A's Ballpark. Although it's not built yet, it is projected to move in by 2028, can host the baseball games to have 33,000 seats. So I actually wanted to do a quick recap of today's video. So we went through the characteristics of event leaders and what the M.I.C.E industry stands for, what type of events that the event leaders would host, and also the economic impact of M.I.C.E industry for the US and in Asian countries. And we also looked at several career opportunities that the career ladder actually exists. And how much do they pay, and also looking at some of the working conditions for the careers, and also how do you move up the career ladder quickly and better and more successfully. And most importantly, the career success key elements, don't forget, there are 2 items, education and experience. And Las Vegas, William F. Harrah College actually provides that from the support of MGM Resorts International. So with that, I hope that I was able to bring some spirit of hospitality into you and think about M.I.C.E as a really serious career path for you to think about. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. It was my great pleasure.